You know, I wasn't going to talk about this, but then I got into a 3, 6, 9 hour argument. No joke, the quote-unquote discussion went across 2 days and involved quite a lot of yelling. So let's go. Taimanin Asagi is being released on Steam, and I'm salty as What's up guys, it's me Zerodomai Kitsune, and Taimanin Asagi is officially coming to the West via Steam. And if I'm honest, this actually ticks me off a little bit.
Nani?
On the surface, I am happy at this announcement. To many, Taimanin Asagi is one of the sacred cows of eroge. So it getting an official release after only being fan translated for a very long time is a massive win for fans. But on a deeper level, I'm frustrated once again with Steam's wishy-washy nature that such an infamous title, friggin' Taimanin Asagi, just breezes into the clear so far. Like, I can think of at least 3 different reasons for this game not to be put up on the Steam storefront, none of which I'm going to make public because I don't want to give anyone ideas if the media starts biting at Steam again, but they are there.
Are you just mad this made it past the first hurdle while Rants got stopped at the door?
No.
Yes.
Despite that, this video's purpose is mainly me talking about Steam, while also doubling as a small bit of signal boosting for people who didn't know about this, so you know.
I'm doing my part!
Steam really lost a lot of my goodwill in regards to them hosting adult video games after the whole RD controversy, and as I said before, not because I didn't want the game removed, but because of their fumbled response showing that enough media attention can make them rethink their rather open door policy on a particular title. And right now, dogpiling is the media's specialty. More importantly, Steam's seemingly coin flip based rulings on titles has also made me more than just a little put off the service. Sure, there's a general guideline to follow involving not setting games in high school, not having an art style that a biased Steam rep might view as objectionable, even with a character of age, or other ridiculous marks in the name of curbing games with quote-unquote child exploitation. But there are several cases of titles accepted despite being in violation of these vague rules, like many Western games first of all, anime bias, but also some games that, yet again, I'm not listing because I don't want to contribute to giving the crazy people ammunition. Then you have other titles that are being banned despite being tame enough to fit on other storefronts that don't even sell adult games, like the all-ages title, The Expression Amrilato, also being sold on GOG of all places. Luckily that was overturned at some point, so it is being sold on Steam, but the point still stands. This sort of bias system really gets under my skin being a user of platforms like YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon, which all have these similar problems, but like Steam, have market dominance. It's not a one-to-one comparison though. While content platforms like YouTube and Twitch certainly have their unfair advantages, one of the biggest factors to their power is simply the users being unwilling to move to other platforms. For gaming, sure, GOG being in financial troubles with only CD Projekt Red titles being their saving grace really seems unfair to me, seeing as they sell DRM-free products and are generally very consumer-oriented. Seriously, more people need to use GOG, myself included.
You're breathtaking!
But with adult gaming, come on, this site looks like it was made in the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s. Can I carbon date this? Looking into some of these sites, it really seems like they have not made much effort to actually grow and provide a better service, but instead I guess be content with their position in the market as is. So I really can't be all that mad at consumers clamoring for titles to come to Steam instead of these other platforms. Simply put, they need to step it up. I never wanted Steam to be any sort of nexus of eroge, but at the moment I can see it becoming exactly that, unfair bias moderation and all. And that makes me worried because I don't want games and developers to potentially have to censor their products or rethink localizations because of Steam setting the bar of profitability. AKA, if your title can't get onto Steam, then it won't make as much money, and might as well localize something else or edit the title to be safe from Steam's hair trigger moderators. Not every game can be like Hatred and get Gaben himself to step down from his golden throne and tell his workers to
Stop it.
That's my main worry, because censorship is one thing, but self-censorship is, as Darkest Dungeons would put,
a slow and insidious killer,
with consumers not knowing about it until much later. I don't know, maybe I'm a little overcautious about Steam, because while the average game is complaining about visibility on the platform, for eroge there are some serious benefits if you can make it on. But here we are with Taimanin Asagi being sold on Steam, and nowhere else at the moment. Okay, rant pretty much over, so before we go, let's talk about the title itself for a little bit. First off, gotta point out, I personally don't have any attachment to the title. Obviously I know what Taimanin Asagi is, but seeing as I like those silly concepts like, you know, storytelling and character development, this I find somewhat lacking. As far as the original visual novel goes, I tried reading it a long time ago, back before I built a taste for, or in some cases a tolerance of, certain themes and tropes in eroge, so you probably know how that went. From what I can see on the store page itself, at first glance I thought they were putting the entire series onto Steam, but after looking at it again, I realized that they are just putting the first title up and splitting it into 4 parts. Not a fan, but at least the first part is free, so we'll see what happens. The other notable thing is that none of the major Western eroge publishers are working on this, as far as I can see. The publisher is instead Infinibrain, the Japanese parent company of Lilithsoft, the creators of Taimanin Asagi, so it's potentially being localized to English within Japan. Not the first time this has happened, particularly with some titles opting to release in Asia with an English translation to sideline our political climate, but it will be interesting to see the end result. You know, the quality, whether or not it'll have mosaics, that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe they'll even include honorific. But that's really all there is to this news right now. Sorry if this video seems like an excuse to bash Steam, but even though I know Steam is doing a lot of good for the adult industry, I also think it's the consumer's right to always ask them to be better, because the second you stop, you end up with Nutaku altering dialogue and removing scenes while lying about it, but that's another topic. And a while back they said they stopped, but I don't know. Either way, let me know your thoughts on Taimanin Asagi getting onto Steam, but also what you think these other sites need to do to step up their game. Because a storefront is about more than just having the hottest titles. I mean, if it wasn't, Epic Games wouldn't be in the running for worst company of 2020. But that's all I gotta say, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!